Hey there everybody, welcome back to the series on historic games that I've been putting together. Today we're going to be taking a look at the American Civil War, a hold the line game. This is a block-based scenario system, very much in the same vein as the other hold the line games. I believe there was one for the American Revolution and for the French and Indian War, and also many people, when you think about block games, are going to think about commands and colors. We'll talk about that, maybe not in this video, but a separate video in itself. This one is based on the American Civil War. I did receive this game as a review from Worthington Games, so I thank them for that. So, in American Civil War, you are going to basically set up one of the many scenarios and then put out the terrain, get your blocks together, and set it up as the scenario tells you. And then the scenario book will tell you who goes first and how many action points you get in a round. Now, I'm not going to go over every detail of the rules here, but very much it takes, at the beginning of your turn, you're going to roll a single die, and it's going to kind of be like a D3, so you're going to divide it by 2, rounding up. So you're going to roll a die, and you're going to get extra action points based on what you rolled. And from there, you're going to activate one regiment, or one unit, I should say, per turn, so you can't continually use the same unit over and over again. And you can use one action point to move, one action point to fire, 2 action points, I believe, for close combat, and then cavalry, I believe, can move and attack for 2 action points. Correct me if I'm wrong there. Each unit will also have a leader, which affects morale and kind of the rules of retreat. And you're going to go through it until one of the objectives has been reached. It's usually a victory point value objective, but there are also some other ones, like there's certain points on the map that are victory point based, and so on and so forth until you reach that, and each one has a turn limit. Turns move rather quickly, and once somebody has achieved that victory point condition, or if the game has reached the turn limit, the game will be over, and you'll figure out who won based on the scenario. Combat works very much with a sheet you're given. If you're so many hexes away, it'll tell you how many dice to roll and what you're going to hit on. Usually you're rolling 3 dice, and the farther away you are, the higher you need to roll. And of course, terrain will have modifiers the same way. Units do not retreat unless they are told to through close combat. Close combat has a certain morale die you're going to roll. 3 sides of that are green, 2 sides are black, 1 side is yellow. That kind of gives you that. Green troops, of course, are going to retreat easier than yellow troops. And you have all the stickers on there that tell you what kind of troops there are. And that's pretty much the gist of the game. So, what did I think of American Civil War? I actually liked it. I liked it a lot because while I enjoy commands and colors, Hold the Line does one thing that one doesn't, and it eliminates the cards. There are many times that I've played games like, for example, this one, Battle Cry, Memoir 44, Commands and Colors Ancients, all of which I have in my collection. But Hold the Line does something that's very interesting, that I am not beholden to cards or flanks. And so I had more freedom. I felt like I had more to do. I never looked at my hand and go, I can't figure out what to do. I've lost all my units in this flank, so I can't play that card. This card seems really cool, but I have to do this to make it work. American Civil War gives me action points. And the action points, yes, they might be low, but at least I can do something. I never feel like I'm lost. And that's really where this one kind of holds a higher percentage of a rating for me. Over commands and colors. Now, there are many different things commands and colors have done through the years that have been good, that have fixed a lot of the card problem. The first commands and colors game I was introduced to was Battle Cry, so I'm going to actually do a comparison video between the two. And I know that other ones have introduced tactics, and they've introduced different types of things that help with that problem with the cards. But here in American Civil War, it was nice not to have that worry about, well, what's going to happen. And I'll talk more about that with the comparison video that'll be done next. American Civil War, however, it's got some really neat scenarios. I always feel like the number of turns you have is plenty for the victory points needed or the conditions that are needed for it. Everyone always complains, oh, you have to stick with the blocks. I don't mind that. I don't mind it at all. Put a TV show on while I'm doing it, and I'll be done within a few hours. So I don't mind that. I definitely think that it's unique, and I say that because it took. Well, I don't know who came first, so I'm sorry if this seems a little wrong, but it took that element, commands, and colors, and it made that improvement that you don't have to be beholden to the cards there. Each scenario is very unique. Let's see what we got here. I'd like to let you know kind of, I'm not going to tell you exactly what happens in the scenarios, but each one here, that's the rule book. Just give me a second here. Just want to kind of give you an idea. We start out with First Bull Run. You've got the famous ones in here, Shiloh. You have some lesser known ones, Cross Keys and Port Republic. You've got your Chancellorsville, your Antietam. You've got your Gettysburg. Not only do you have Gettysburg, but it's a specific part of Gettysburg. You've got Chickamauga, and you've got the assault on Petersburg, Kennesaw Mountains. So the battles you have in here are not just famous ones. There are some more obscure ones in the mix as well, and I appreciate that. I really do. So you have 12 scenarios in this base box. I know that this came out last year. I do not know what the plans are, if there's going to be an expansion or not, or even maybe a packet that just offers new scenarios. I don't know. But I highly recommend American Civil War if you've played Commands and Colors, just to see the major differences of it. And I understand that people are going to be like, well, I don't need another scenario-based war game. At least give this one a shot. I gave this one an 8.25. I really think that the differences between the two are enough for me to keep it in my collection. And yeah, like I did last time with Chancellorsville 1863, I am going to have to recommend a book, because I do think that if you're interested after playing this game, you should have something to go back on, at least to read more about it. This game kind of encapsulates so many of the different battles of the American Civil War. So I went and I tried to find the best single volume Civil War book I could find, and even though I had a ton of different options, I had to go back to the classic Battle Cry of Freedom. This is a very well-loved copy here. Battle Cry of Freedom has been the standard for many, many years when you're just jumping into the American Civil War. This gives you a fantastic and brilliant idea of the basics, and you can kind of jump from there on where you want to go. There are many different multi-volumed histories on the American Civil War. But if you're looking for some singular book, I would definitely look at Battle Cry of Freedom along with the American Civil War. So that's going to be my recommendation today. Thank you again to Worthington Publishing for sending this to me so I could review it. And that's the American Civil War, a hold the line game. We'll see you next time, everybody.